Syracuse Mayor Sharon Owens officially in office, and she had actually already announced a few weeks ago some key leadership positions, including this man, Mark Russin, who will become the new police chief in Syracuse. He joins us now. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Yeah. So this is an opportunity to get to know you better. We know that you're the youngest police chief since 1970 for the Syracuse Police Department. You grew up in the Binghamton area, and your first job in law enforcement was in Western New York. Were there other stops along the way before you landed with SPD?
Yeah, so I started at small town Nunday, New York. It's out in Western New York. Not many people are familiar with it, but it was literally a one police car town. Had a police car from 4 p.m. to midnight, and that was it. And I had a great opportunity to work for the Livingston County Sheriff's Office as well there. It's a great police agency, and so I started there before ultimately I got a canvas letter for Syracuse Police Department, and then I moved over this direction.
I got to ask you, I'm always curious about these things when we pull the curtain back. So you get that call from now Mayor Sharon Owens. She was mayor-elect at the time. She wants you to be the next police chief. That's the phone call. What's your reaction? What do you even say to that?
You know, I think you're super excited, but you also recognize the task at hand. I mean, this is an incredibly historic moment that we have in the city, and to have someone like the mayor ask you to be on your team is humbling. You know, the police department is a place that took me in. The city of Syracuse took me in when I was a young person trying to find a job. So I have just all the love for the police department and the community, and then also to recognize the historic moment that this is humbling. So you do have to take a little bit of a deep breath and start to say, hey, this is such a good police department. Build your team. Think about who's going to be on that team and move forward from there. But it's exciting and humbling at the same time.
All right, so you talk about building a team. We also want to know about your philosophy. Chief Joe Cecil describes you as innovative, open-minded. What will be your philosophy as the new police chief? What's your approach to policing?
I think where I've been the most successful and where I think SPD really strives is finding common ground when sometimes it doesn't seem like there is common ground to be found. And so I think you have to work to meet with, and it's everybody, it's internal, it's external, it's vertical, it's horizontal. I think you really have to be willing to put in the hard work, to have hard conversations, to listen sometimes when you want to talk, and before you make decisions to really learn the process and learn the history behind those things. So I think finding common ground with everybody that you encounter allows you for the next interaction with the next person that maybe you don't know. And even since the announcement has been made, I've met hundreds of people now that have come up and wanted to have a conversation, and you learn a little bit more, and you meet that next person, you go to that next conversation, and I think that will always be my philosophy, because that's just been, how I've been as a person.
Sounds a little bit like Joe Cecil. How's it been serving under him? And you and the entire city of Syracuse have 9 more days with Chief Cecil. He officially retires on the 14th, and then you move from deputy chief to chief. But what has it been like serving under him? What have you learned from him that you'll take forward into this new role?
Well, I've seen it in different stages. So he was a deputy chief, and then a first deputy chief, and then ultimately the chief. And I've seen it really in different stages. I mean, Chief Cecil was very innovative himself with the body-worn camera program and rolling out new technology. So he was very innovative himself and different areas that he worked on operationally and administratively. As a first deputy chief, when I started to work closer with him, I started to realize how much wisdom he has about all things: operational, administrative, officer wellness, local contacts within the community. And then really as chief, maybe a regret of mine is that what I didn't realize is that the chief isn't just going to come and give you advice right out of the gate. You have to go and ask that for him. He allows you to explore the space of being a deputy chief or on the executive team, which I think is a great leadership quality. But what I've learned over the last 18 months or year is really, if you want advice from him, you need to go and say, I'm seeking your opinion on it. Then he will just give you an incredible amount of wisdom that I think has really put all of us that have worked underneath him really some great advice.
Well, the police departments often turn to you when it comes to advancing technology for the department. You were instrumental in bringing on the body cameras. Do you see an expansion in technology under your terms?
I think technology is always a constant present in policing. You know, if you look back at the history of policing, when you take cars and you put them in, you take radios and you put them in the cars, you put computers in the cars, you do DNA, fingerprints. You look at the history of policing, it is always right hand in glove with technology. So I think there's always going to be the next iteration of technology. I think you have to be super mindful of your policies, your training, your supervision as it relates to those issues. You have to look backwards to say, hey, these are the things that have gone right, these are the things that have gone wrong. And when you do that, you recognize that this new technology, there was a technology before that was new back in the day. DNA is a prime example of how that works. So I think you can reflect on your history to make good decisions in the future.
Awesome. I think that was a great first interview.
I appreciate the time.
We would love to obviously continue this with you and cover more topics like we have done with Chief Cecil over the past several years here. So this was great.
Yeah.
Deputy Chief Russin about to be the Chief of Police.
Yes.
Thank you so
Again,
much
our
for your time.
congratulations to you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.